In English, your negative is made up of one word. In French, your negative is made up of two words. And those two words have a specific position, and this is what we are going to see. So point number one, if we are dealing with a one-word tense, present tense, future tense, the negative splits around the verb. So, je ne sors pas souvent, I don't go out often. Now the problem now is that students tend to write je ne sors souvent. They're missing out the pas. Even though they have learned it, they're missing it because they're thinking in English. And in English you are going, I don't go out. Okay, so you need to remember that my negative will always be made up of two words, and those two words are now going to go around the active part of the verb, and if your verb is made up of one word, then that is where your negatives will go. Je ne sors pas souvent. If we are dealing with a compound tense, so we are now dealing with a tense made up of two words, passé composé, for instance, the negative is going to split around the auxiliary verb, the verb that is active. So you are going to say, je ne suis pas sorti. So you see that this is the part of the verb that is active. Je suis, tu es, il est. My negative is splitting around this verb. And here is my past participle. Je ne suis pas sorti. Je n'ai pas dormi. The third point is what happens when we insert a pronoun. So, my pronoun, let's take this sentence, for instance, je le vois, I see him. Okay? That's my subject pronoun, that's my object pronoun. Now I want to say, I don't see him. Where am I putting the negative? Well, my negative is going to leave a little bit of space for my pronoun, and the second part of the negative is coming after the verb. So, if you take a look at your two sentences, je le vois, je ne le vois pas. So it means that your object pronoun stays where it is, your negative is coming up immediately after the subject pronoun, second part of negative after the verb. So, when the verb is conjugated, the negative will always split around the active part of the verb. Okay? Take a look at this example. Je vais me coucher, I'm going to go to bed. Je ne vais pas me coucher. Vais is the active verb, ne and pas split around it. Only in front of an infinitive does the negative stay together. Okay, so remember, negative splits around conjugated verb. The infinitive is the only one where the negative is going to be placed in front of it. J'ai décidé de ne pas sortir. Okay, so you see that your negative is not splitting around the infinitive. Other negative that you might be familiar with is nobody. So let's take in English. Nobody answered. Personne ne. That's my nobody did anything. Personne ne. Answered, a répondu. Now my E here is going to disappear and this is going to be an apostrophe. Okay? Personne n'a répondu. Now, one final point. What are the main negatives? Here they are. Je n'aime aucun légume. I like no vegetable. Je ne mange jamais de viande. I never eat meat. Je ne bois plus de café. I don't drink coffee anymore. Je ne vois rien. I see nothing. Je ne connais personne. I know nobody. Remember that these two can become personne ne fait rien, rien n'est fait, depending on what you want to say. And that is the position of your negatives.